Finally, Fox is allowed to make an X-Men TV show, and which character did they pick to venture out on his own? Nope, not Wolverine or any of the other characters they've been developing over the years. They chose Legion, or David Haller, one of Marvel's most dynamic and complicated characters. FX has been developing Legion for quite a while now, and his show will be premiering next week on February 8th. Cool beans. Just to get a head count for everyone who doesn't know every single X-Men character backwards and forwards, were they super confused by the trailer like I was? Here's a clip.
Stop.
Not a damn clue what's going on, except for he's in an insane asylum. I don't know what the hell else is happening. Let's take a look at the history of Legion, what his Omega level powers are like, and what possible stories the show could possibly tackle in the future. But right off the bat, let me just say that this show's already getting great reviews, and Noah Hawley, the man behind Fargo, is the showrunner for Legion. With Fargo being another beloved adaptation, I think fans and newbies to Legion can rest easy, at least during the pilot. Now let's get into it. Legion, or David Charles Haller, debuted in New Mutants number 25 back in 1985. Created by Chris Claremont and Bill Sienkowitz, Legion quickly became a popular anti-hero mainly due to his complex case of dissociative identity disorder, or DID, or more colloquially called multiple personality disorder. I do believe, though, that in the show they've changed it to schizophrenia. But here's the fun twist. David's multiple identities all host their own individual psionic mutant abilities. We'll do a rundown in a second of his more dominant personas, but usually one will have telekinesis while others have pyrokinesis, but some possess reality warping abilities, which are pretty cool. Now for his backstory, David is the son of Charles Xavier and Gabrielle Haller. These two horny intellectuals had a nasty affair, but Gabrielle got pregnant, but hid it from Professor X, and then he moved away. She didn't tell him. Gabrielle remarried and raised David in secret. When David was a young man, he witnessed a terrorist attack, which in turn caused his mutant abilities to manifest. David mentally eviscerated the terrorist, but also absorbed the mind of the terrorist leader, Jamail Karami, leading to David's psyche splintering for the first time. Karami developed into the personality with telepathic abilities, while other identities manifested naturally within David. Jack Wayne being one, the adventurer, also David's telekinetic, and Cindy, the pyrokinetic wild child. These three are usually the prominent personalities inside of Legion. They go up against each other constantly, with Karami being the total D-bag, but don't worry, there are literally hundreds more, so it does not get boring. Seriously, there are some that can even make his body change shape. Some are people that David has psychically absorbed, or they're just original manifestations. Some are good, some are not so good, some are downright terrifying. Remember that term Omega level mutant that I used earlier? You should be worried about that, but we'll get to that soon. As for the name Legion, it actually comes from one of his personalities of the same name that can warp reality and time, but also from the story of Jesus meeting a man possessed by multiple demons who stated, "I am Legion, for we are many." Super scary. Anywho, David eventually found out that Professor X was his puppy and then got into all sorts of shenanigans. Remember that infamous Age of Apocalypse storyline? You probably heard of it. Well, Legion caused that. Yeah, he used his time warping abilities to go back in time and try to stop Magneto before he could do all the things that make Magneto an awful human being, but then ended up accidentally killing Charles Xavier, his dad, which caused a whole bunch of timey-wimey problems. Don't worry, the timeline got fixed. That's just one of his biggest whoopsies. Eventually, all the great minds of the Marvel Universe came together and gave David a neural switchboard wristband, which allowed him to call upon the abilities from his personalities without having to give up control of his body. Pretty neat. As for the previously mentioned Omega level mutant phrase that I've been tossing around, it basically means that this mutant is so powerful that they defy classification, aka riders don't need to be tied down. So calling David an Omega level mutant means that he can do just about anything. Let's just list off a few of his abilities real quick. Telepathy, telekinesis, pyrokinesis, time manipulation, reality manipulation, super strength, size altering abilities, transmutation, death touch, acid gas out the mouth, energy projection, electricity manipulation, gravity manipulation, wormhole manipulation, turn his arms into spikes power. Sometimes he can turn into a centaur. Sometimes he can turn into a dinosaur. Sometimes a wolfman. Who fucking knows at this point? They just do whatever they want. Now, will any of this be on the TV show? Probably not. Yeah, let's be a little bit optimistic. What will be on the TV show? Probably the top 5 personalities that manifest telekinesis, telepathy, and so on. Karami, Wayne, Cindy, and obviously Legion, cause that's the show's name, and the Centaur. God, I wish. How weird would that be? I wouldn't expect to see Charles Xavier anytime soon. Maybe a season 2 big reveal, kind of like how they handled Superman on Supergirl. I think it's kind of annoying that we're not gonna get any of the mutants that we know and love from the movies, but let's just stay optimistic. Maybe we'll get the lesser known mutants, like Shark Girl. Hell yeah, Shark Girl. I should note that Moira McTaggart helped raise David when he was in a coma. In one story, she's actually a part of one of his personalities, so it would be fun to see Rose Byrne return to that role. Give the fans a little nod. And if they got James McAvoy to come along with her, I'd poop myself. But that's it for me. What do you guys think? Let me know what your thoughts are on Legion by hitting me up on Twitter @SamBasher. Before you go though, give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. Click that little bell icon in the YouTube app to keep up to date on all of our videos. I'm Sam. and I'll see you next time.
Which is a lower or more guttural alternative, like this, to the high-pitched scream of black metal, like this.
Aware of this myth in one form or another. From video games to web series to fan fiction to doctored photos, who or what is the Slender Man?